Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. It's very exciting in the Hornet. We now have the first stage of the Lightning targeting pod available in the Hornet. Like most of the big features in the Hornet, it's been released in several stages, and we've now got the basic air-to-ground functionality. And as promised, it's really top-notch, easy to use, and really good fun. So, what we're going to do today is, it's myself and I've got Ripcord with me somewhere. Say hello, Ripcord.
Hello, everyone.
We've got the pods that we can actually put here on the centre pylon only of the aircraft. Then what we're going to have is we're going to take a GPS guided or INS GPS guided JSOW, and we'll use our targeting pods to find a target and send the information directly to this JSOW, and we'll then drop the JSOW. Next we will have a laser guided bomb, a GBU-12. We will find the target with our lightning pod, and then we will use the laser from our lightning pod to laser that target and deploy that weapon. So then we're going to shake it up a bit. We're going to have, if we have a IR guided Maverick, the way we're going to use that then is we're going to have Ripcord wherever he's hiding now. He's going to find a target for me, and he's going to laser target. We're going to spot search that with our targeting pod. We're going to find where he's lasing, and we're going to deploy our IR Maverick on that target. And then finally, just so that we've covered all eventualities, we're going to have missiles. We're going to have the Echo Maverick. This is the laser guided Maverick, and we'll probably use his laser again. We'll allow him to find a laser target, and then we'll deploy our Echo Maverick on that laser. Then we've got me lasing, we've got him lasing, we've got laser spot search, and we've got coordinate based usage. Okay, so let's arm up. Okay, we're fully armed up. First thing we need to do is to turn our lightning pod on. It's going to be the flare here. We're going to turn that to on. I'm going to have to let it warm up. Out of interest, we have our laser here, which is contained within the lightning pod, and we can't turn that, we can't arm that yet until we're in the air and ready to use it, but that's something else we will be using. We need to select the targeting pod on one of our three MFDs, which just tends to be easier to use this one here. This one here actually has different graphics when you use it down here, which I actually prefer, but I prefer the functionality of having it over here. So from main menu, we're going to get to tactical and blur. It's currently warming up, so once it's warmed up, which takes a couple of minutes, then it will show a different display and we'll be ready to go. While we're waiting, we'll just show the keys that we're using today. So to slew the sensor, either the optical or the IR sensor around of the targeting pod, we've got throttle DDC up, down, left and right. To transfer data from the targeting pod to the selected weapon, we've got TDC depress. Because we've got the the lightning pod in our right MFD, our right DDI, to make that our sensor of interest so we can manipulate it, we will be using sensor control switch right. If we were using it in the lower AMPCD screen, we would use down, but you know how that works. If we ever need to switch back to the left screen here for our stores page, for instance, we will be using sensor control switch left. To recage or to cage our lightning pod back to bore site, once we have the right DDI as sensor of interest, we're going to be pressing cage uncage. Okay. To tell which screen is currently our sensor of interest, we'll have a little diamond in the top. So if we press sensor control switch right, you can see the diamond goes to the top there, so this is now our active screen. If we were to press left, then we'd have a diamond there. If we would press down, we'd have a diamond there. And you can only manipulate whichever screen you have the diamond on at that time. So we currently have, this is our center of interest, our lightning pod and our right DDI. So let's look through our current options. At the moment we only have air to ground facility in this phase 1 release. We will get air to air eventually. We have the field of view, which we can change. We've got wide or we've got narrow, and the narrow, as you can see, would be shown by these markers here. The crosshair here shows where the sensor is pointing. We have two sensors, a CD or an optical, and we have an IR, same as the other aircraft that use the Lightning pod, the FA-18C or the Harrier. This is the type of track that we've got at the moment. We've got area track and point track. Area track is just tracking a bit of ground, and point track tracks something that is definable, like a vehicle or a tree or a building. And point track can follow a moving vehicle. Area track cannot. And if we have nothing here under operation, let me just try and do that now, then it is caged to the bore site of the aircraft, well actually 5 degrees down from the bore site, but it's not tracking anything. Next we have the zoom. If you're wondering what this weird stuff is, we're actually looking at our front landing gear, I imagine that is. So if I were to slew the camera around, that is just a really close shot of our landing gear. There'll be a wheel there, look at that, see, big wheel there. So we're doing area track at the moment as standard. If we want to zoom in, then we've got zoom in, zoom out, up to 9, same as the other Lightning Pods versions that we have. We can see here that we're currently depressed to 9 degrees from the ball sight of the aircraft, minus 12, plus minus 8, and here 2 degrees right, 2 degrees, 4 degrees left. If we imagine that there is, if we imagine this is the top view of our aircraft, and our aircraft is here pointing that way, this marker here shows roughly where how the sensor in the TPOD is orientated. So it's currently pointing out in front of us. If we had it over there, it's currently forward and right of us. If we had it here, this may look a bit weird, but you'll see in a minute. If we had it all the way down there, it's now pointing directly below our aircraft. Okay, well, yeah, exactly, minus 89 degrees down and 0 there. So what we're going to do, if you're ever like this and you ever need to get it back to standard, cage on cage, and you get it back to ball sight. Okay. Next is our type of sensor. We've currently got the TV sensor, optical sensor, known as a CCD, or you can have an IR sensor, known as FLIR. We have within the FLIR an autofocus option that's currently not available, but it will be obviously soon. We can change how the IR sensor works, whether hot is shown as white or black, with white hot or black hot. We'll get back to CCD now. We've got our speed there, 48 knots that'll be in this aircraft, our Mach there, our Angels there in barometric, so we're at 20 feet at the moment. If we ever want to get out of here, we can go menu and then straight back in. Here we've got our laser spot search function that allows us to search for a third-party laser and the current code associated with that. We'll go through that in a bit. Declutter, if we want to just get rid of some clutter, then we can do that. We'll turn that back on. Our UFC, if we want to change either our laser spot search code, laser code, or our actual laser code that we're going to be lasing, because we have an active targeting laser on this, then we can change that there. We'll go through that later. Reticle currently has no function, and the star, this guy here is showing that this is our sensor screen of interest. Okay, so next we're going to get airborne, and we're going to show how to find a target, how to lock onto a target, and then start deploying our weapons. So stand by. Okay, up we go. Now, when operating the Lightning Pod, I'm just going to refer to it as a T-Pod throughout this, just a basic targeting pod. Look at our wheel go up. You see that? Awesome. It's better to have as much altitude as possible within reason, simply because the higher up we are, generally speaking, the lower down, the more depression that the T-Pod will have to aim, and that means there's less chance of masking it with our own aircraft, like a wing or a weapon, a fuel tank or something like that. So if you want to go to Angels 20 plus, that is usually optimal. You don't have to go that high, but that is just usually optimal. I'm going to slowly work my way up in terms of altitude during this. So the first thing we need to do is find the initial target or the target area with the T-Pod, and the best way we find of doing that is to cage it to bore sight. So we've pressed our cage on cage button. We can see that we've got operation here, but nothing else, no type of track. Now, and all we're going to do now is point the bore side of our aircraft, the nose of our aircraft near the target, just so we can get a basic area track. We know the target are on the bottom left of this kind of island, so we're going to point it roughly around here until we see something on the T-Pod. Oh, there we go. Now we're going to just press the slew left, right, up or down, it doesn't matter, and that's now locked it in an area track. So we've now got a target area of operation that we're terrain locked to. Now we can just start maneuvering around, and the best thing to do at this point would be to get in a barometric altitude hold, a kind of orbit, basic orbit around this island, so we can spend our time looking for targets. I'm just going to do it quickly, so I'm going to find a target immediately. So I'm going to slew around here. Remember, I've got my diamond up here. Now I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to get a point track on this guy. You can do it with an area track. I'm going to do a point track, so the sensor switch right. You may have to press it twice. It's now got a point track, so that will follow him as a moving vehicle. Sorry, I didn't realise I'm stalling there. Next, I've got to choose my weapon that I'm going to use. I'm going to go to air to ground. That I'm going to go. What should we do? Let's do a JSOW C first of all. So the first thing I do, most of these weapons I'm going to use need warming up. So you can see I've selected it and it's timing. So we've got to count down to 7.5 minutes. So I'm just going to skip time now until we get to the full alignment. Okay, in fact, while that JSOW is aligning, I can actually get on with this. So I'm going to go to, just going to stick my barometric hold on so I don't do anything silly. There we go. I'm going to use it to target opportunity. My E-fuse is going to be instant. That's all I want to do there. Just take my master armor AG on. Yep, we're going to go to JSOW display. We're going to go to the mission. And what we're going to do now is transfer targeting information from here over to here so that we can drop the weapon. Now the reason that this has gone blank is because either my own aircraft is in the way, like that Maverick or something, or we're out of gimbal limits on the actual targeting pod gimbal. So let's go and have a look at that. You can see the sensor, the IR sensor or the CCTV sensor is actually out of gimbal limits. It's looking directly behind us. It's just come back within gimbal limits now, look, as I've started turning right. So it's working again. What I'm going to do to transfer the information from here over to our weapon here is that I'm going to press the TDC depress button, and that will do that. And I'm going to just double check that I am still aligning okay. Yeah, I've got 30 seconds to go. So I'm going to wait until we're aligned until I transfer the information across. I'm not sure if you actually need to do that or not, but just for safety. Okay. That's just done there, ready. So we're going to go back to mission here. And what I'm going to do is, make sure the diamond's in here, we're going to press TDC depress. And p'yow! We've got we've got a northing and an easting, 8-digit, and the elevation. So the targeting data is now on board that weapon. You can see we're 8.5 miles to target, in range. Everything else is standard with how you drop a JSOW. So let's go in for the attack. And to do a JDAM, almost exactly the same operation as this. Okay, it's in range and ready to fire. Just going to level myself off and fire. Missile away. Now what we can do, that is, as you know, a self-guiding missile, so we can come off there and we can get on with our next attack. So we're going to go to stores, we're going to go to GBU-12 there. I'm going to start setting that up because we can. We're going to go to mode, we can go to auto. Mechanical fuse, we're going to leave as none. Echo fuse, we're going to go as instant. And we need to set a laser code up, and I'll just use the basic 1688. So code, wrong button. Code 1688, enter. We've now got our GBU with 1688. Let's go and check the progress of our little guy. Not quite there yet. So what we can actually do now is turn our laser on. So this guy here, right click to arm. We now have an armed laser. You can see we now have trigger. Oh, boom! There we go, look. We now have an armed trigger. Let me just put my barometric hoe if I don't need to. What I can do now is ensure that we've got our diamond here and look for our next target. So we're going to zoom out. Where's the next? There's one, look. And it's already found point track mode on its own, so that's good there. Our actual laser we've got set up as the code here as 1688. If we wanted to change that, we can click on USC and change that there for our laser, and that there as our laser spot. So that's fine, we're happy with that. What we're going to do next is press trigger, and this means that we can now control the actual laser, whether it's lasing or not, with the trigger. You know, the same weapon you'd fire your guns or your missiles with. What we're going to do is just get some distance and then come in again to drop the bomb. You can see here that that means the laser is armed and ready to go. If I were to press the trigger now, we get that, and that means it's actually lasing the target for the bomb to follow. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm not sure if we can burn our laser out or not, so I'd appreciate your input on that. I'm also not sure on the max range of the laser, so I'd appreciate your input on that. Okay, 10 miles out. I don't know why I went so far out, I just did. So we're turning back in now for the attack. So we don't really have to use our auto method of dropping. I suppose we could use any, but auto is just going to be the easiest, obviously. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drop the bomb in our standard auto technique that I would for a dumb bomb. And then after a few seconds, 10 seconds ideally, I'm then going to press and hold the gun trigger and until the bomb hits. Now there is some saying out there that you don't have to press and hold, you only have to press it once, but we found you do have to press and hold. So again, please correct if we're wrong, but that's what we found. 16 seconds to release. Make sure you're not lasing, please, Brickboard, just in case you interrupt my laser. That's one thing.
Not lasing.
Roger, I'm going to press and hold weapon release now, and this bomb will come off when she's ready. Bomb is away, and I'm just going to give it a few seconds to guide, and I'm going to start lasing now. Trigger or press and held, and that's hopefully going to be a bomb hit. We'll clearly see when she starts lasing. I'm going to periodically jump back in here just to make sure I'm not going to block the laser in any way.
Tracking.
It's tracking, is it? Good.
Tracking, yeah.
My main concern at this point is just trying not to block my own laser, which is an easy thing to do. It's going to be a shack attack. Kaboomy. Okay. As you can see, really easy to do like that. Okay. So that's that done, and that's cool, but that was too easy. We've got to start making it a little harder now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to say, for some reason, I can't use my own laser. I need to rely, or I just can't find the target, let's say. So I'm going to rely on my buddy, Ripcord, to find a target. So Ripcord, find your own target, please. And I'm going to come in. Roger. I'm going to come in with one of my Mavericks. I'm going to come in with an Echo Maverick, I think, first of all. So I'm just going to set myself up, and then I'll give you a shout when I'm ready. I'm going to re-cage this here. So I'm going to go cage. That's that re-cage. Okay. And I'm going to click on this guy here. Sorry, I just realised I selected the IR Maverick by accident instead of the Maverick Echo, so we've got an IR Maverick. Didn't mean to do that, but let's just work with it. So the first thing obviously it has to do is align, so you can see it's aligning there. We're just going to have to skip time until that aligns. Okay, Ripcord, to make it a bit harder, can you set your laser as 1588, please? And I'll set my laser search as 1588.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is go here. I'm going to click laser search 1588, just so we don't get conflicting lasers with my laser. And you can see my laser search is now 1588. My INS on my Maverick is still aligning.
Code set.
Roger. Hold, still got a minute or so. Okay, my Maverick is now aligned and ready to go. So let's get prepped. I've already got the laser code in. So next I'm going to turn my active laser off. Just because I don't need it anymore and I don't want to cause any confusion. We're going to undesignate my existing target from that last tank. So undesignate, we're now undesignated. So all set up. Can you please start lasing 1588 on a target of your choice, please, Ripcord? I'm going to work my way in.
Okay, lasing 1588.
Roger. Okay, I'm aiming at the island. I am going to laser spot search 1588. Searching. You can see the azimuth here of the lightning pod going right, and then it will go left until it picks up a target. We're not really sure the best kind of attitude for our aircraft should be in to make the search work, so we're just going to let it keep going. What's your range from the island, Ripcord?
I am 2.4 from the target.
Right. Well, annoyingly, this did work a few seconds ago perfectly, so let's just see if she can pick it up. Just double check. Lasers, yes. Laser off. So it should work. Confirm you've got LTD.
Yep.
Roger. Let's hope for the best. What I'm going to do, I think, is just to aid it along, see if this will help. I'm going to give it a target down there. And let me just get this right. Come on, where is that? There it is. I'm going to put it down there roughly. Lock it down there. And now I'm going to press laser spot search. Let's see if it can help a little bit.
I wonder if it's the codes.
Well, it worked. It worked on 1588 last time.
Did it work?
Yeah,
I
we got
guess
1588 working. As soon as the camera goes on, nothing works. We don't know we don't know why. Let me guess, it will work fine next when I've turned the camera off. So I've ground locked it roughly where those targets are, just to, you know, at least point it roughly in the right direction. And it is laser search. I'm going to turn the search off now.
Did you
it's found it. It's found it.
Oh, I'm not lasing right now.
Oh, really? You must have it the wrong way around, because it's now found a laser.
Weird.
Okay, right. It looks like our Mr. Ripcord just had some confusion there, because it's just changed his laser and now it's suddenly found it, which is interesting. So let's just go and see what it's found. You can see how it's got a lock on something. We're going to find out what that is. Yep, it's found your tank. So a little bit of confusion there, but we got there in the end. Work with that. So it's found Ripcord's laser. Now we're going to transfer that information over to my Maverick really quickly before we run out of time. So what I'm going to press is TDC depress. And you can see what we've done is uncaged the Maverick on that screen by pressing that, and it's found the target. And I'm good to shoot, really. It's in range, so it's easy as that. I'm going to press the button. Pion, that is a rifle. What does your laser read now, out of interest? LTD or ARM?
LTD.
Yeah, so it is lasing. LTD is lasing.
It must be, yeah.
Yeah, so we just had ripcords, yeah, it does work fine. And that's a boom boom. And again, to make it as hard as possible, I'm going to undesignate my target. I'm going to turn my TPOD off, essentially. Recaged it. Go and find a new target, please, ripcord. Turn your laser off so you don't burn it out. So make sure it says ARM. That means laser off. I'm going to go and set my E-Maverick up, and we'll come in for an attack. Just so I've got my laser turned off. We'll go by his laser again. We're going to go UFC, the laser code. We're going to go 1588 again, please.
Okay.
So I've got that set up and it's not working. Oh, whoops, my bad. Okay, 1588 on my Maverick. Press it again. We get the basic Maverick screen here. It's uncaged and searching for 1588.
Okay, target's locked.
Roger.
All lays.
Thank you. Now we're actually not going to let the Maverick itself find the laser. We're gonna slave it to our TPOD. That's how we're gonna do it. So I'm actually going to go over to my excuse me, Maverick here with center switch left. I'm actually going to cage it so it's no longer searching. I'm now going to go over to my guy right here, and we're going to find the laser spot search through the TPOD and then transfer the information over to this guy here, and that's how we're going to do it. Okay. I've undesignated, so I'm not sure how far away I am. Probably I'm going to go a little bit further and then I'll pop in.
Says LTD.
Right, that's it. I'm heading in now. I'm going to look for a laser spot search. Right. Searching. Pa-chow. This is always the awkward bit, of course. You can see where the sensor is pointing in relation to our aircraft. It's pointing over to the left at the moment, so we don't want that. What we're going to do is give it just a little bit of help in that we are going to turn the... Just make sure it's... We're going to turn the laser spot search off. We're going to rebroadside it. We're just going to put it pointing roughly in the right direction, which is somewhere around there. There, okay. And it should be a lot more understandable now. Laser spot search. It's now searching for our laser. Again, we're just not sure what are the parameters that allow this to work well. Oh, it may have found something. It's found it. Yep, it's found it this time. So we had no confusion this time. What we're going to do now is punch this information from the TPOD over to our Echo here with TDC depress. You can see it's now found the target. And Maverick is locked. I'm just checking we're in range, which we are. And we're going to fire. Pew! Keep that laser on, please.
Laser's on.
It's going to be a kaboomy. Beautiful. So to summarise, I have found targets with my... I'm going to just turn everything off here. So I'm going to undesignate my target. I'm going to recage that. So I use the targeting pod to find targets myself and transfer coordinates directly over to my JDAMs and my JSOWs. I found the targets with my TPOD here. I turned on my laser and I lased on 1688 for my laser guided bomb. Then we switched over to our laser spot search on 1588 and we found ripcord's laser to fire the IR Maverick. The confusion there was simply that he wasn't doing the laser properly, so we've done it now. We fixed that now, obviously. And then we did the same thing with the Echo Maverick. We got ripcord to lasers on 1588. We found the laser spot search. We transferred the laser information over to the Maverick Echo, and we fired that. Just a couple of other things that we want to look at before we sign off. We want to look at its interaction with the SA page, which we'll do shortly. We're also going to look at laser marking at night, so stand by. Okay, the next thing we want to show is that we can interact with the targeting pod through the SA page, which is just an amazing feature. You will absolutely die when you see this. So first thing we're going to do is set our SA page up. That's good to go. You can see that we've got a little square there. That shows where our TPOD is pointing at the moment. So let's go to our TPOD. It's all turned on and ready to go. Blur. So the first thing I'm going to do is just lock it somewhere. So I'm going to go center switch right. I'm going to slew it left. It's now locked into a position. It's ground locked. There is the SAM site. I can already see it shooting at one of us, which is interesting.
Shoot at me.
As you right. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and watch both of these screens. Just try not to stall is the main thing. And I'm going to use my slew to move it around. You can see that the little box is moving. And all I've got to do is move it onto the 6 where that SAM is. which is a little bit cheating, but pretty cool.
It won't get exact,
no.
but it'll get...
And that's got us within, you know, a few hundred feet of where that SAM is. And now all I've got to do at that point, and I could be doing this from miles away, in fact I am really, is just go in and find it. If I want to go IR, white hot maybe, black hot, sorry. Actually maybe white hot. I can be a shit. There it is. There it is. I found it already. Autofocus isn't working, as you know already. Zoom in. Get right on that little baby. Get on point track. And that's it. I've just found a SAM from the middle of nowhere with my SA page. Like, if that's not more as amazing that, you know, I just couldn't think of any more amazing than that. I could then therefore find SA-10s out there, 50 miles or something, and go and log 50 mile JSOWs on them like that. That's absolutely amazing. Anything you want to add to that bit, Ripcord?
Nope, that was it. And again, you know, you're going to have some focus issues, but that's great now.
Yeah, lovely. Right, all we're going to show now is the laser marker, so we will BRB. Okay, we're back in, exactly the same as we just saw, but now we are, if I can remember how to put my night vision, there we go. We're now at night. So, this may be a little bit awkward. Let me just try and get everything set up like this. Night vision, sensor slick right, slew. Just let me get rid of that for a second. We go down here. Got my SA. Where is right? I suppose I've got that in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to re-cage. I'm going to point it down into the ground. I'm going to slew it there. I'm now being fired at, which is never very good. So I'm going to turn away from him. That's okay. We've now got our box. We can now move that to our bad guy. Hopefully he doesn't shoot me down in the meantime. Okay. I've got a... Oh, look, I can literally see his smoke trail. That's so cool, man. I've just got to make sure I don't get shot, which is the main thing. Which is very possible. We've got white hot, black hot, maybe. I'm not sure the best way of doing this. Okay. As near as damn it. I know we don't have autofocus on at the moment, so it's not perfect. But I've got him illuminated. But yeah, I've got my crosshair on him. So I'm ready to mark him. Do we need our laser turned on?
Yes.
Roger. Won't let the laser go on. What have I done?
Turn on your master arm and air to ground.
Roger. Master arm on. Still getting trapped, this goddamn missile button. Okay, laser now on. I've now got target and mark. So I'm now going to press mark. You see we're armed here. Marker armed. Now we're going to press the trigger. You see we've got trigger box here. We've got mark box here. I'm going to put trigger. And now we are now marking, as you can see. I'm going to put my goggles back on. Find where the hell this thing is. Oh, look at that. Wow. Works. Absolutely major. I'm just going to turn around a bit so I don't lose the... Wow, that's so cool. I'm chuffed with that. And I can see your mark as well. No, that's a missile trail.
I see your mark.
Did you see my mark? It's like a bloody lightsaber. Yep. That is cool. Very cool.
Mine?
No, but I'm in a horrible position of trying to even look over my shoulder to see my own one, to be honest. No, I can see mine.
I just got shot down.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it works. It works fine. It works really easily. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see each other's as well because it works for the other planes. Lovely. So that's that. That's marking. Anything you want to add, Ripcord, before I sign off?
Nope, that's it.
Beautiful.
Pretty much covered it all.
Thanks for the help. We really hope that helps, and we'll wait for the next installment. See you later.